We may only just be nearing the end of September, but LEGO are taking us all the way to the North Pole to prepare for Christmas with the official reveal of this year's Winter Village set. Welcome back to Talking Brickheads. Let's talk about it. Starting with the stats, this is set 10339 LEGO Icons Santa's Post Office, coming in at 1,440 pieces and 5 minifigures. As usual, this set is sticking with the standard price for Winter Village sets at £89 or $100 or euros, which isn't terrible on the value side of things, and there's some unusual or rare pieces to be found here. But let's get into it with the exterior. I have to admit I was feeling a little bit let down when I first saw the images that leaked a couple days ago, but over time I'm starting to come around to this set. It is a departure from the past few years, which have seen a focus on more realistic Winter Village styles, such as last year's incredible Alpine Lodge, and brings us back into the more fantasy North Pole feel of previous years. As the name suggests, the main build for this set is of course a post office with some nice side builds which are on theme. The main building looks really nice. I love the wood beam look of the nougat pieces, and especially the way that they curve up at the top with the top floor resting upon them. The shape overall is really giving that toy-esque look, which fits in really well with Santa and the Christmas theme overall. Certainly looks like the type of building the elves would construct. I think the colour scheme on this one is nice, but again, it's something I wasn't sold on at first. I do like the two shades of blue used here, but I think that with the light nougat colour, it kind of washes the build out a bit, with too much pastel and not enough bold colour to balance against the white of the snow-covered roofs. Talking about the roofing here, I do really love the rounded edges they've gone with this year, and again, it feeds into that sort of cartoon fantasy toy nature of Santa rather than going more realistic. The central building has the classic post office logo seen in a Winter Village set many years ago, this time reimagined in actual pieces with some clever use of the hot dog piece in gold and the Friends hairbow piece in red. There's some cute little icicles hanging beneath the top floor, and the garland above the ground floor windows looks fantastic. Off to the right of the central tower is a secondary room where we have a nice burning furnace and chimney with wood blocks and a snowman who is suspiciously sturdy looking considering he's right next to a fire. The chimney again has the hairbow piece just to tie it all together. The opposite side houses the main entrance and landing pad for the hot air balloon. I love the slanted candy cane style lampposts flanking the door, and I like how the roof here sort of like a porch or veranda kind of thing sticking out rather than just having the door right there. Heading up, you can first see the green mail chute, which we will look closer at later, and then the landing pad. The build for the hot air balloon is really adorable, especially in these festive colours of red, green and gold, and the way that they've achieved the shape is just perfect. As for the side builds, we have a really great looking Christmas tree using a design we actually haven't seen before, I believe, in these sloped pieces, and this comes with a couple presents beneath it. Then there's a signpost and mailbox build with some Easter eggs, as the signs are actually pointing you to previous Winter Village sets. And finally there's a fishing scene with a baby seal. Nothing too much to speak of as far as these side builds go. I think they're kinda average and nothing too special compared to recent years. Maybe even a slight letdown if I have to be honest. But moving on now inside the post office and starting beside the fireplace, we have Santa's armchair, set up right next to the fire to keep him nice and toasty. There's a small side table with an oil lamp, but I have to say the build for this armchair is really nice. It's really something unique that we haven't seen before, and I think it's great. Just inside the entrance of the post office, there isn't too much going on, but there is a hot chocolate station, which is very cute, and some stacks of gifts and letters. The main floor has the letter sorting equipment like pigeonholes, and then the top floor of the main building contains a study for Santa to read his letters from children and send them down the yellow opening to the chute below. Now, where does that chute go, you might ask? Well, the letters go into the automatic Naughty and Nice sorting machine. This is a really fun, well-built element, and I love how the interactive part of it is this lever, which can be pushed backwards and forwards to switch between naughty and nice, and the letters will fall into the appropriate basket below. I think the build outside and inside is decent, but something just feels a little bit lacking compared to recent sets from the collection. It doesn't quite seem detailed enough for a start, especially the interiors, and it feels a little bit narrow with not much space for play, which is a shame for this theme. But the last thing to talk about here is the 5 minifigures of the set. We of course have the big boss himself, Santa Claus, in his usual red outfit with a big belly printed on his torso and some dual molded legs. Now all 4 of the other minifigures are going to be elves, and I do have to admit I think they're so cute. The Lego elves are some of my favourites to have come from the Christmas sets over the years, and these are no exception. First off, we have our hot air balloon ground crew for landing, with his red flashing guide lights in hand. I really love this idea, it's silly and cute, so for a Christmas set it's perfect. Next up is just a standard elf, but what is really nice, and you'll notice on all of the elves, is that they have the little post office logos on their torso prints, which is a really lovely touch. After him comes our fishing elf, who is retrieving a letter which unfortunately ended up in the pond alongside the baby seal we saw earlier, and the shocked face on this one is again really adorable, I love it. Finally, the last minifigure is the pilot of the hot air balloon with his little old-fashioned flight goggles. I like all the details on the elves, and each seem to have their own little personalities, which is nice. But I would have liked to have seen perhaps Mrs. Claus, an extra couple elves, or even a reindeer or 2. Overall then, I think this is a pretty decent addition to the Winter Village lineup, but I can't say I'm not at least slightly disappointed. Maybe I just had my hopes up a little bit too high after last year's set, which, fun fact, was actually one of the sets that got me back into LEGO more seriously as an adult. My personal jury is still out on whether I'm going to pick this one up, but it does seem likely, especially as this set is growing on me even as I record this video. But what are your thoughts on this one? Will you be adding it to your Christmas display this year or skipping it? Let me know in the comments down below, and as always, remember to like and subscribe for more content. Thanks for watching, see you next time, and happy building!